Mutants, sorry. The New Mutants was directed by Josh Boone, and this is the final installment of the X-Men franchise. And this looks more like a spin-off to the X-Men movies anyway. I don't even know. But anyway, this movie stars Macy Williams, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Heaton, Blue Hunt, and Alice Braga. And yes, this movie came out last weekend, and I'm a little bit late on this review, and I apologize. But anyway, in this movie we have 5 teenage kids who discovered about their mutant powers, and they're stuck in this facility that's run by this doctor played by Alice Braga, but they don't want to stay in there. They're just trying to get out in order for them to save themselves. How was this movie? It was alright, but I heard I did watch the movie reviews, and I heard some movie reviewers on YouTube actually said that this movie has been delayed a couple of times, and yes, it is true. This movie has been delayed a couple of times. Like, this movie was supposed to be coming out April 2017, which I didn't really know. Well, I didn't really know, because I was in 12th grade that time. I think it's supposed to come out like 2018, 2019, now in 2020. Now it has been released last week, finally. I actually watched this movie on the Fire Stick. Yeah, I watched this movie on the Fire Stick. I didn't want to go back to the movies, even though I heard movie theaters have been reopened. I didn't want to go back to the movies until next year, and that's all. I was like, you know what? I'm not going back to the movies until next year. I'll be fine. So, watching movies on the Fire Stick is fun for me anyway, so that's all. So anyway, how was this movie? It was bad. I didn't really like it all that much. I just didn't really like the New Mutants all that much, even though this is the final X-Men film. I mean, to me, this does look more like a spin-off to the X-Men movies. Well, basically, it ain't gonna be nothing much to say about this movie anyway, so I'm gonna get things, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, so how was the movie? It was fine. I just didn't like it all that much, even though I'm a big fan of the X-Men films. I love X-Men movies, but why I didn't like this movie is because this movie is a horror movie. This is a horror Flash superhero film. Don't know why, because I saw the teaser trailer. When I first saw the teaser trailer for this movie, I'm like, wait a minute, what? If this is called the New Mutants, since this is an X-Men movie, I think, why is this a horror movie? I don't know. So I don't understand why this movie is a horror movie, Flash superhero movie, but I'm not gonna worry about it. So the casting for this movie is absolutely terrific. I actually love the actors like Anya Taylor-Joy, Macy Williams, Charlie Heaton, Alice Braga, and Blue Hunt. They're all great in the movie. They were absolutely terrific. And I won't spoil the characters at all. I won't spoil them. You gotta watch the movie. So Anya Taylor-Joy, she's actually really good here. I think my first time watching her movies was mostly Split, which is I think my first time watching Anya Taylor-Joy's movies was mostly Split, which is the sequel to Unbreakable, I believe. And Anya Taylor-Joy, she was also in this other movie, this kids movie, Playmobil, the movie, which y'all know what Playmobil is, and some of y'all don't even know what Playmobil is, and I understand that, but I think she was really good. Anya Taylor-Joy was really good in this movie than she is in the Playmobil movie, which I watched and I didn't like it, because to me it looks a little bit like a ripoff of, because that movie was a little bit of a ripoff of, kind of like Jumanji meets the Lego movie of some sort. That's all. So anyway, but Anya Taylor-Joy did a really good job in this movie. That's all I gotta say. And Macy Williams, even though I'm not a big fan of Game of Thrones, with no disrespect, Macy Williams is absolutely terrific in this movie. And also Charlie Heaton's really good here, including Alice Braga is really good as this doctor. Is really good as this doctor is trying to figure out what's going on with them. And Blue Hunt, she's really good in this movie as well. And the visual effects is terrific. Even though Dark Phoenix had really good visual effects, and this movie has the same thing. The visual effects aren't animated. It ain't cartoony. It's just more it's just more CGI. The CGI with the scary parts of the movie. I mean, can you? I mean, speaking of horror, imagine you take your kid to watch. Imagine you let your kid watch this movie, and the kids are gonna be really scared with the horror scenes. I mean, we get in this movie. We got we got these little we got these really terrible jump scares in this movie that really starts bothering me. And I mean, imagine let your kid watch this movie, and kids are probably gonna be bothered by horror, are gonna be really gonna be bothered by some scary scenes in this movie. And I don't and I'm like, then what were you guys thinking of making this into a horror movie, anyways? Um, Even though this is an action movie, the action is really terrific. I love. This is not just an action movie. I mean, it is an action movie, but this is not just an action movie. It's just this movie is just about these five main characters who's trying to save themselves out of this facility because they've been stuck in. I don't know how long they've been stuck in there, but anyway. But hmm. So the horror scenes were bad. I did not like any horror scenes. I didn't really like much of the horror scenes in the movie because some of the horror scenes did bother me sometimes. Even though I'm not a big fan of jump scares, I don't like jump scares. It's because you know how jump scares are. Because basically I know how I feel about jump scares. But I love scary movies, but I don't like jump scares. But that's part of watching a horror movie, and I understand that and I get it. But I mean, everything about this movie is just terrible. I mean, the story is bad. You cannot understand what's going on. You cannot understand what these kids. I mean, you cannot. I mean, in the trailers, when I first saw the trailer, I'm like, okay. Some of the trailer, I think one of the trailers probably gave us a little bit of spoilers about the mutants' powers, which I don't understand why. So mostly when you watch movie trailers, they should not be giving any spoilers. And so I don't know what I say, because I saw the teaser trailer, I'm like, okay, this should not be a horror movie. But yeah, the horror scenes were bad. The story is bad. The reason why the story is bad is because you cannot. I don't know, because I did not understand what was going on in this movie. Because even though I do feel bad for these teenagers, I do feel really bad for them right now. They're stuck in this facility. I know they're trying to get out. They're trying to find a way out. And that's one of the best parts of the movie about these five main characters, because these are called New Mutants, because they're discovering about their powers, of what powers do they have. Mostly the best part of this movie, I think, I don't know. I'm trying to think here. Mostly, the best part of this movie is mostly just everything about this movie, but the bad thing about... Even though, Josh Boone, I think he directed one of the movies. I think Josh Boone probably directed The Fault in Our Stars, I believe. And why he directed this movie? I mean, I can't blame him, because I don't know how much this movie is gonna get into the box office. I hope it doesn't fail in the box office. Hopefully not. But I don't know about the box office due to the pandemic. So I watched, basically, like I said, I watched this movie on the Fire Stick. I didn't want to go back to the movie theaters due to the COVID-19. I didn't want to go back to the movies. Like I understand movie theaters have reopened, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna watch the movies on the Fire Stick instead. So I should be okay. So the next movie that I'm mostly gonna review is Tenet, and I'm a little bit late on that one too. I still got probably at least 2 or 3 movie reviews to do, but I'm gonna let you guys know which movie reviews I'm going to do. I mean, I'm doing the New Mutants right now. I mean, even though I'm a big X-Men fan, my father was a big fan of the X-Men, even though I got Wolverine behind me in the background, sitting there. So, my favorite X-Men movie was mostly Logan. I love Logan because it was bloody, it was dirty, it was emotional, it was violent, it was a blast. And with this movie, it was not. Like, come on. I mean, I mean, I can't blame the actors for this movie. I mean, I understand that 20th Century Fox. I mean, I don't understand why 20th Century. I don't know why 20th Century Fox and Marvel delayed this movie a few times. I mean, is it the? I think it might be either. It might be either the casting problems, or someone probably got or maybe someone got or maybe someone got replaced out of the movie, or maybe there was some production issues. I mean, something like that. I do feel bad for this movie because it's a really terrible movie, even though it's not a good movie. And I do feel bad that this movie has been delayed a couple of times, even though it has been released already. So and then there's nothing much to say about this movie anyway. So I decided to go ahead and make this movie a little bit of a short movie review anyway. So then that's all I gotta say for this movie review. I will be reviewing Tenet, not today, maybe tomorrow, Monday, but I'll let you guys know. I know I'm a little bit late. So I think that's all I gotta say for this movie review for the New Mutants. So be sure to like and subscribe, press the notification button, follow me on Instagram, comment down below, and I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching.